Find out how the L word puts you on the Grinch train. I'm MJ Calloway, author of Bounce Up. I work with organizations who want to improve communication, performance, and results. In this first issue of Get Off the Grinch Train, we will talk about the L word. And it isn't the word that you think it is. It's a 5-letter word that isn't good for customers. How many of you have had to go through the drive-through of your local bank recently? In my area, my bank is closed to in-person services, so we have to go through the drive-through. And a few days ago, I was so excited because when I pulled up to the drive-through at my bank, I was the only person in line. And because of the pandemic, with the banks closed, the lines have been really, really long. So I was so excited. I pulled out that tube and I put in my license, my bank card, and the check that I had wanted to deposit. I put it back in the tube thing and I sent it, the tube holder, whatever you want to call it. And I sent it. So I was excited. I knew that I'd be able to get in and out. So I'm listening to a little bit of music on the radio, and I realized that the song that was playing stopped and a new one came on, which I'm thinking, oh, I've been sitting here for a little while. So I have not heard one peep from the person inside the bank. Now you have to realize that in this particular drive-through, I was sandwiched between a brick wall, total solid brick wall, and the brick column that holds the tube. And the reason is because we were behind the bank. There wasn't a window in the brick wall. It was a solid wall. So I don't know at this point if my tube actually made it over to the personnel inside that brick building. So we hit the call button. I said, hello, hello. Silence. The only thing I hear inside my car is the radio playing. This is so unusual. Now I am concerned if my tube actually made it through. So I wait a few more minutes, probably 2 or 3. This time I am now watching the clock. And I pressed the call button again. Silence. So now I'm sitting back, I'm looking in my rearview mirror, and I see there's starting to be a line. At this point, there are 4 cars behind me. There's someone in the lane next to me, and there are 3 cars behind that person. And more than likely, everybody behind me is thinking it's my fault. I still have not heard a peep from the person inside the bank, from anybody inside the bank. And I don't even know how many people are inside the bank. Finally, 8 minutes later, now 8 minutes, this is from the second time I press that call button, I hear, I'm sorry for your wait. We cannot process this today because our server is down. I was stunned. I have never had the bank's server go down, which I know technology, there's so many glitches. I've had them. I understand it. What had me more stunned was now I am past 10 minutes waiting. I was stuck in limbo. I could not go forward because they had my bank card, my license, and also the check I had wanted to deposit. Yeah, I should have done online banking. So I'm stuck in limbo. Limbo is not a place we want our customers to be. It's the last place we want them because limbo causes uncertainty, and uncertainty causes stress. Stress causes risk for a buyer or for a customer. And when our buyers or our customers feel a risk, it is harder for us to retain them. They're going to go somewhere else. So when we think about that, the last thing we want to do is cause limbo, especially now during the pandemic. We are sitting in uncertainty more often than not. The last thing we want as a customer is to feel uncertainty with someone we are doing business with. So that uncertainty in that limbo, being in limbo, isn't fun. And it isn't fun for either one. So, how could this, and let's call the bank personnel, let's call her Becky. So, how could Becky have gotten over, or how could she have taken me out of limbo or not put me in limbo? Is really, we never want to put a customer in limbo. So, the first one, there's two simple actions. The first one is a greeting. A greeting is so simple. Welcome to ABC Bank. Thank you for visiting us today. Hello. Thanks so much for coming to our bank. Some type of greeting to let the customer know, and in this place, me, to know that she received that tube. And I didn't have to think about, was that tube in limbo? Was it stuck somewhere between the column that I sent it up and the building, the brick building? The second simple action, number 2, is an update. Update the customer. Think about this. Because there was a brick wall between us and I wasn't standing in front of Becky, I was not able to read Becky's facial expression or her body language. Standing in front of her, I would have been able to do both of those, and I would have been alerted that there was an issue. So I would have been processing, my brain would have been processing it along as she was taking these actions. And at that point, her body language would have spoken much louder than words. However, I only had words to go by. And in this case, I didn't have any words. So when she said, I'm sorry, I can't do this, I went from thinking I was going to have help, waiting, and then getting no action, no result here. Whereas a simple update, I'm sorry, right now we are having some glitches with our server. I'll try one more time to see if I can get it to work. An update would have alerted me to she was having issues, and adding one more time would have also been an alert that she has tried to process it for me a few times and it hasn't worked. So those two simple actions would have taken her off the Grinch train. So the next time you have an issue, you want to think about these two simple ways to keep your customers happy instead of being in limbo. Now, this is episode 1. We will have episode 2 coming up. Be sure to go ahead and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and ring that bell and share this with a friend. This is MJ Calloway. Tune in out for today, but be sure to tune in for episode 2 of Get Off the Grinch Train.